It's the biggest party of the summer. Welcome to NLW 24/7 presents SummerSlam. We are live and we're expecting an incredible night of action, many of which is courtesy of our wonderful viewers over on Patreon. We've got our main event of night one. It is going to be the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, going one-on-one with Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero. Plus, a big-time Battle Royal. The winner gets 50 grand Women's Battle Royal. Who's walking out with the cash? Also, no holds barred. Andre the Giant, the new client of Vince McMahon himself, goes one-on-one with the Mastodon Vader with no holds barred. And our opening contest, it's a dream match of sorts. Bryan Danielson going one-on-one with Buddy Murphy. And like we said at the start, many of these matches being brought to you by our fantastic viewers over on Patreon. This match, a result of OG Hazard. We'd like to thank them on Patreon for booking this match, and what a match it's going to be to kick off SummerSlam here tonight. And Daniel Bryan, we've seen the issues he's had. He's been trying to get a shot at the NLW 24/7 Championship. However, several obstacles have come in his way, and you know if you've been watching recently. But tonight looks to put that behind him and go one-on-one here tonight with the best kept secret, the Australian native, Buddy Murphy. And this is a match that many people have dreamed of. Many feel that Buddy Murphy, yes, he calls himself the best kept secret, but there's only so long you can go before you get tired of being a secret and you want everyone to know your name. And Buddy Murphy tonight, here on night one of NLW 24/7 SummerSlam, could pull off an incredible upset here against Daniel Bryan. And you know what, we have the centerpiece of the 24/7 brand, the 24/7 title. That's on the line next week on night two when Kenny Omega defends against Batista. But you know what, a victory in any of these other matches, that puts you in good stead to argue for a title match. But obviously it's easier said than done as Bryan goes for an armbar, and Murphy, leveraging his weight, hooks the leg, floating over, but a kick out. Now a crucifix pin, but another kick out. Barber catches the boot, and now a series of kicks from Murphy. Stomps on the foot, and now deadlifts Daniel Bryan for a running brainbuster. Murphy is so quick, but so's Daniel Bryan. Off the ropes, floats over, comes off the ropes again, but gets clattered with the clothesline. Now on the shoulders of Murphy, and a twisting DDT off the shoulders. Here's a cover, but a kick out from Bryan. And Daniel Bryan, the more technical of the two, Murphy the more explosive of the two, and he's going to use that explosivity, goes for a bicycle knee, but Daniel Bryan catches him out in midair with a kick, and now a series of yes kicks, and the final connects with a sickening thud off the skull of Buddy Murphy. And now Daniel Bryan, where is he going? Bryan running through a tope, but gets caught with a bicycle knee. Bicycle knee from Murphy, who takes out Daniel Bryan. And Murphy running at him. Tope con hello over the top. You could not ignore the best kept secret on that occasion, and I just muddled my words, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because it's the biggest party of the summer, baby. It's SummerSlam. And right there, Murphy showing why he is one of the premier athletes in the world, as we take a look again at the tope con hello over the top. So incredible, and for a cruiserweight, he's on the heavier side, so not only does he have that quickness, he's also got that power to his advantage. Again, you see there the explosiveness I was talking about. The meteor off the top, wiping out Bryan. And now hooks the arm. Suplex, maybe no. Bryan from behind, and a German suplex lands Murphy on his head. Buddy Murphy dropped with the German. as Daniel Bryan looks to risk it. Is this wise? It will be if it pays off. Diving headbutt from the top. That rattled Bryan, but it was effective in taking down the best kept secret. And now, oh, look at this. Beautiful bridge on the cattle mutilation. Daniel Bryan may make Murphy tap out here. Murphy rings it around, and now a backslide from Bryan. Is this going to be it? In for the cover, but a kick out from Murphy, and again stomping down on Murphy. And we're seeing some classic Bryan Danielson tactics here, folks. First the cattle mutilation, then the vicious stomp, and now maybe a Frankensteiner. Looking for it, but Murphy drops him on the top rope. And now hooks the head in there, and there's a cheeky Nando's. Powerbomb out of the corner, but picks him up again for a sour powerbomb. In for the cover, but a kick out from Bryan. So close again. And Murphy telling the referee should have been free, but it was close. But an elbow from Bryan. And a super kick from Murphy, but Bryan's still on his feet and misses that one. Misses the clothesline. Both men coming off the ropes and collide in the centre of the ring. Both men down. What an incredible opener to night one of NLW 24/7 SummerSlam. This supercard here tonight. A vicious chop from Murphy and another from Bryan. Another chop, and these two men chopping the hell out of each other. And now they're trading strikes. But a bicycle knee from Murphy. And the poison spike rider. But Bryan off the ropes into the psycho knee. But he cannot capitalise. Bryan is battered, he's bruised, but he can't capitalise and go for the cover. But he may be looking for those knees again. Murphy is loopy, and Bryan senses it. Runs at him, but gets stopped with the knee. And a Kamagoye. But Bryan still kicks out. I thought that knee knocked him out, but he does not give up. And now, Murphy's Law. But Bryan reverses it into the yes lock. That crossface variant. He's wrenching on their head. And Murphy has to tap. Bloody Murphy taps out. And Daniel Bryan wins our opening contest. Good grief, follow that everyone. Here tonight, that was an insane opener. Thank you once again to OG Hazard on Patreon, because that was an incredible match. And Bryan winning just about, but Buddy Murphy proving a lot to everyone here tonight, including the power right there. And that bicycle knee. You know, we've seen Murphy on NLW 24/7 before try and go after Seth Rollins, but here tonight he showed he's got what it takes to be a champion here if he chooses to. Again, that poison spike Rana. Thought it was over for Bryan, and then he came back with a Psycho knee, couldn't capitalise, and the second got hit with a knee again, and this Kamagoye, I thought it knocked out Bryan. Murphy managed to hit Murphy's Law, or so we thought. And then he got hit with a label lock. And thus, Daniel Bryan celebrates victorious. He's going to be yesing all the way home from the arena as Daniel Bryan picks up the win. Well, a great way to kick off NLW 24/7 SummerSlam. Just a reminder, folks, this is non-canon to NLW and Metal shows. This is an entirely separate supercard, and you know what? That's why we're getting some great fantasy matches and fantasy action, including our upcoming contest, a 20-woman Battle Royal. The winning prize is $50,000. Who is going to win it and walk away with the cash? You know, that money could change your life. It really could, and thank you to John on Patreon for giving these women the opportunity to win that cash. He was the one who requested this match, and what a match it's going to be. 20 of the best women in the world competing in an over-the-top battle royal. Remember, both feet have to touch the floor to be eliminated, as Shayna And Alexa work over there. You see some established veterans, as well as some up-and-coming stars like Dakota Kai, who eliminates Ruby Riott. And now Tennille Dashwood, eliminated by Rhea Ripley. Then you've got young stars like Bayley against veterans like Mickie James. You've got Mia Yim over there, working on Asuka and Lacey Evans. Dropping the dime on Asuka. I should say Alexa Bliss. Meanwhile, you see AJ Lee over there, Liv Morgan fighting, but Naomi with a rear view. And Liv Morgan eliminated. It's going to make a lot of people unhappy. Oh, but there's a women's right. Knocks down Naomi, and Lacey Evans picks up an elimination. Meanwhile, Sasha Banks, vicious knees to Rhea Ripley. And you see Sasha, and she gets hit. It's the shiniest wizard from Tegan Nox. Alexa's very close to being eliminated by Toni Storm. On the other side of the ring, you see Mia Yim eliminated by Nia Jax. Who is going to be able to stop her? Oh, well, maybe. Yes. Nia Jax eliminated by half the women in this match, it seems. And now Dakota Kai dropping the knees with some innovative offense, and there's a big-time kick from Asuka, eliminating Tegan Nox. And Rhea Ripley and Sasha Banks hanging on. And you know what? They're fighting for 50 grand. It's a life-changing amount of money, and Lacey Evans is not going to get it. She's eliminated by Shayna Baszler. Meanwhile, Bayley's a belly to Bianca Belair. It's a lot of bees, and now Alexa Bliss with Twisted Bliss. But Shayna Baszler throws out Alexa. The Queen of Spades. Impressing, but Io Shirai, the genius of the sky, eliminates Shayna. Shayna not getting that 50 grand payout. Maybe one of these women will. Asuka throws out AJ Lee. Her husband won't be too happy about that. Could have used the money nowadays, but that's besides the point. There you see Rhea Ripley with a German to Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. A beautiful 450 to Rhea Ripley. Meanwhile, Io Shirai very close to being eliminated. But Io with a head scissors takeover. And springs right back in with a missile drop kick onto Mickie James. Oh no, not a KOD, trying to eliminate Rhea on the other side, but Bianca. And now backdropped out, and Bianca Belair not getting that cash money. Not very cash money of Rhea Ripley to eliminate her there, but once again you see Toni Storm trying to eliminate Dakota Kai. Meanwhile, Io Shirai, genius of the sky, beautiful moonsault, and there's Sasha Banks with a vicious knees to the back of the skull. And Io thrown out with such vicious force. And again, wiped out by Asuka. But here comes Rhea. Oh, they're hanging on. One of them drops and they're eliminated. But the Asuka lock applied onto Rhea. Look out for Dakota Kai with that Kiwi boot. Eliminating both Asuka and Rhea. And from behind, Toni Storm eliminates Dakota. We're down to 3. Maybe 2. DDT from Mickie James. And Sasha went for the Rana. Gets caught with a powerbomb. And now, Sasha Banks on that precarious position. But reverses it. And now suplexes Mickie James out. Look out for Toni. We're down to 2. Now a backstabber. And Sasha Banks with a bank statement. Onto Toni Storm. This move's worth at least 50 grand. Wait a minute though. Look at the power of Storm. And both women go over the top rope. Who's going to drop? But Toni! Storm 0! And it's over! Toni Storm is going to get a fat payout. She's just won 50 grand. Toni Storm, your winner of this Women's Battle Royal. She's getting the cash prize. And what do you suppose she's going to spend that on? I'll tell you what, she might need a doctor after this one. It was a brutal match in many places. You see, it was dangerous, as Battle Royals always are. There's so many people there that there's so many chances to get injured, including that vicious knees from to the back of the skull. And again, you see the way that Mickie James lands here. It went down to 2. It was down to Sasha Banks and Toni Storm. But Storm reversed into a Storm Zero on the apron, eliminating Sasha Banks. And now she's 50 grand richer. Thank you once again to John over on Patreon for requesting this incredible Women's Battle Royal, which Toni Storm wins. And she now has 50 grand to spend. Tell you what, incredible match right there. But we're not done here tonight on night 1 of NLW 24/7 SummerSlam, because coming up next, it's a match between two giants of our business. Vince McMahon has tried to meddle his business in NLW 24/7, but tonight, one man is looking to stop that. That man being the Mastodon, Vader. And Vader tonight goes one-on-one with the 8th wonder of the world. And if anybody can stop Andre, it is Vader. Vader stepped up to the challenge, and now tonight he takes on the man that apparently is the #1 contender to the 24/7 title. That's a whole story in and of itself. You'll know if you've been watching NLW 24/7, folks, but I'll get to that in a moment. But right here you see the intensity in the eyes of the Mastodon. He is 400 pounds of pure muscle, and he's waiting for his opponent here. I don't think Vader has ever faced anyone the size of the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. And the boos you hear emanating from the arena, that is for these two. Vince McMahon tried to insert Andre the Giant into a match between Daniel Bryan and Arn Anderson very recently. Now he claims that Andre is the #1 contender for the 24/7 title. That's not official, folks. But Vince McMahon thinks he can use his power here in NLW 24/7 like he has in his own company, but he can't. Or can he? We don't know, but Vader wants to be the one to stop Andre, but can't knock him down. And that clothesline might do it. Remember, no holds barred in this one. That means no disqualifications and no countouts. As Vince checking over Andre on the outside, but here comes Vader with a cannonball, wiping out Andre. And now telling Vince to back off. I wouldn't want to mess with Vader, especially when he's wielding a steel chair on the spine of Andre. If there's any way you're going to beat a man like that down, it's with a chair. But Andre punches the chair right in the face of the Mastodon. Oh my goodness, ripping that chair apart as well. And now chokes him, and look at the strength of Andre, lifting up 400 pounds of Vader with a choke bomb. And they're going to squeeze the traps, this nerve hold, onto Vader, going to debilitate him. Off the ropes, and Vader with shoulder block, stunning Andre, and now vicious beatdown, and look at this! Andre caught in the ropes. A bad position for him to be in as Vader wails away with that steel chair. But wait a minute, here comes Vince McMahon with that 2x4, but Vader snatches it off him and knocks him down and drags it over the skull. But Andre not phased. Andre, he's not human, man. This giant, unfazed by the 2x4. And now, oh good lord! Throwing Vader halfway across the ring. But Vader gets a boot up. Oh, look at the strength. The strength of Vader, but he has to collapse under his weight with a kick out from the Mastodon. Vader now. Oh, good lord, again. That strength of Andre. And Andre the Giant throwing out Vader to the outside. Sent right into the announce table right in front of me. And now Vader. Look out for Andre! Andre! Spearing! Vader through the barricade here. The sheer weight of both men breaking off that partition. And Vince likes what he sees. I'm not going to call him Mr. McMahon because he's not my boss. Although he thinks he is. You see Andre spearing Vader right through the barrier. They're heavy duty, folks. They're supposed to keep fans out. And now Vince, he set up that table in the corner, telling Andre to put Vader away. But Vader from behind. Oh, the strength. What a German suplex. Andre lands right on his head. And now Vader. That took a lot out of him. And you look again, battering him. Those vicious shots and a back suplex. How did he manage to lift him? And now Vader spearing Andre through the table. And throwing that piece of wood on Andre, and he's covered in debris from that table. Vader on the top. Moonsault. And Andre presses Vader to his feet. Even Vince couldn't believe that one. And Vader, what more does he have to do? Oh no! Power slam. And a splash to Vader. Vader crushed under the weight of Andre. And Vince bringing in another table. Mr. McMahon bringing in another table for... Oh, I don't know what he's thinking here. But clocks him. And that one shot may have knocked out Andre. But Vince wants to stop him. Wait, he's climbing the ropes. No way. No way. Crushes Andre with Vince on his back. Oh, surely not. Oh no, Vader bomb. And Vader pins the 8th wonder of the world. Vader defeats Andre the Giant. Not many men can say that, but Vader is now one of them. What a no-holds-bar fight we saw here tonight. Vader, he tried to use his power, but Andre, for the most part, was unfazed and came at him with so much, including this spear through the barricade. Then you see the German suplex. And look at this beautiful moonsault from Vader. He's so agile for his size. And right there, Vince's neck compacting, and then the Vader bomb through the table, lifting 500 pounds of muscle in the air. And Vince, his master plan did not come to fruition here tonight. And Andre, Vince's heavy, defeated by the Mastodon Vader. Boy oh boy, it's been an incredible night of action here tonight, folks. No doubt about it. And next week, night 2 of SummerSlam promises even more insane non-canon action. It's fantasy warfare. We've also got next week. Here's a rundown of what you're going to see. We've got a 10-man all-star tag match, the Patreon Picks tag team match, 5-on-5. Every member of each team was picked by a member over on Patreon. We also have this very strange matchup. It's a trading places match. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin have ended up with each other's gears. Neither man's happy about it. Well, can't really tell with Orange Cassidy, but nonetheless, we'll see what that match entails next week. We've also got Edge going one-on-one with his buddy Christian. That's going to be a blockbuster match. Those two have a lot of history together in the wrestling industry. And our main event next week for the NLW 24/7 Championship, Batista says he's going to win the 24/7 title and take it back to Hollywood. But will Kenny Omega, the champion, walk out still the champion, or will Batista dethrone him? But tonight, folks, our main event of night 1, it is the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, going one-on-one with Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie Guerrero and Okada set to battle here in night 1 of SummerSlam's main event. Thank you to Cringe God over on Patreon for requesting This dream matchup. And you know what, people say dream match a lot, but in this instance, I think it's apt. You've got two men here, very similar styles, and they missed each other by a couple generations. But tonight, that's the beauty of NLW 24/7, baby. You get these dream matches, these fantasy matches, as Eddie awaits the arrival of the Rainmaker. This crowd is going wild for the arrival of Kazuchika Okada. He's very much one of the premier athletes in the world today. Perhaps the best living wrestler on the planet. And Okada tonight gets to prove that over one of the best wrestlers of all time in Eddie Guerrero. Truly a clash of great legends. You've got one legend over there and a legend in the making in Okada. One of the longest reigning IWGP champions in history, going up against a man who's held pretty much every title there is to hold. Another lucha style from Eddie Guerrero to start this match, but Okada blocks the second arm drag. And now a drop toe hold. Eddie gonna go for the surfboard. And stretching Okada, but in for the cover and a kick out from Eddie. You know, Eddie is very explosive, he's very quick. Okada, very measured in his responses to these kind of matches. He'll go the distance. Oh, now from behind, go for the Rainmaker, his finisher. And now Three Amigos maybe, no! Okada from behind, Rainmaker coming. But Eddie from behind with a snap tiger suplex. And now runs at the corner. Tornado DDT, but the strength of Okada. And a deadlift suplex. And Okada, he's got the power advantage to his arsenal as he runs along with the uppercut. And again, slowing down the pace. That is what Okada needs to do in a match like this, to try and combat the quickness of Eddie Guerrero. Now a back suplex to get out of it. And then he whips off Okada. And a Hurricane Rana, snapping the neck of Okada, who gets a bit of respite outside. Now Eddie Guerrero, where's he going? He leaps to the top, and Eddie Guerrero with a crossbody to the outside. Wiping out Okada. You know, he's a household name in Japan, is Okada. And how will that translate here tonight against Eddie Guerrero here on NLW 24/7, but oh, Eddie thrown over into the crowd. And now Okada with a running crossbody over the barricade into our audience. Good thing he didn't hit a fan. We might have had a lawsuit on our hands. Well, it's non-canon. What does it really matter? Let's be honest. But I'll tell you what did matter. This incredible offense. It may have turned the tide in this match. Okada flying over the barrier and crashing onto Eddie Guerrero. Now back in. Senton Atomico. But Eddie. Oh, Eddie pushing Okada with those shoulder thrusts into the corner. Now Eddie gonna dive it. Okada. Okada moves out of the way, off the ropes, but Eddie's there to meet him with a drop kick. So quick, Okada didn't see it coming. And there's the first suplex. Looking for those Three Amigos. There's the second. Trifecta coming. But Okada from behind. Rainmaker maybe. No, short arm clothesline from Eddie G. And now a Senton Atomico of his own. And you can tell Okada's taken a lot of influence from Eddie Guerrero. Gonna go for a frog splash maybe. No! Okada to his feet and a beautiful drop kick, knocking Eddie Guerrero off the top rope. Suffice to say, I'd say that you're looking at the two best drop kicks in the business right there, and a brutal DDT on the floor. But Okada got to get Eddie back in the ring. And that's exactly what he does. And Okada now on the top rope. Picture perfect elbow drop. whips Eddie off the ropes and another beautiful drop kick. The prelude to the Rainmaker. He signals for it. But Eddie Guerrero back to his feet. And a roll-up, wheelbarrow pin, but a kick out. And right into the lasso from El Paso. The lasso from El Paso. Eddie Guerrero driving that knee into the spine of Okada. And Okada, monkey flip. Now both men back to their feet. But Okada from behind, looking for the Rainmaker. No, Eddie ducks it. And now Eddie with a brainbuster. Okada may be out. Off of the brainbuster. Eddie G on the top rope. Frog splash rolls through. And a missile drop kick from the Rainmaker, who's now looking for his own Rainmaker. No! I spoke too soon. There's a German suplex. And another German suplex. Going for a third. No! Oh, Rainmaker! No! Eddie ducks it. And the gory special. The gory bomb from Eddie. And now the frog splash, but gets the knees up. Okada got the knees up on the frog splash. And the Rainmaker. But Eddie kicks out. Somehow, someway, Eddie Guerrero kicks out of the Rainmaker. But Okada misses his man, but Eddie, snap Rada, but cartwheels out of it. Okada looked for the Rainmaker, but Eddie ducks it. Off the ropes, head scissors, takeover, no! Okada holds him, and a spinning tombstone. Hooks the arm, and a spinning Rainmaker. Eddie back to his feet, picks him up, Rainmaker! And Kazuchika Okada picks up the win here in the main event of Night 1. The penny drops for Eddie Guerrero as Okada picks up the victory. But what a match that we just witnessed between two of the all-time greats. Kazuchika Okada laying claim to being the greatest of all time with that win. But look at Eddie Guerrero and his effort in this one. Okada had some great arsenal, including that DDT on the floor. Eddie rolled out of the frog splash. Okada hit another missile dropkick. Every time he went for that Rainmaker though, Eddie had a counter. Up until this point. The knees were up for the frog splash, and there's the first Rainmaker. Eddie kicked out of it. And then Okada cartwheeling out of that. And he caught the head scissors for a spinning tombstone. Here's the first, that corkscrew or that spinning lariat. And then finally the Rainmaker puts it away. And Eddie Guerrero suffers defeat. But I'll tell you what, Latino Heat, with a hell of a performance here tonight. It's just that Kazuchika Okada is the one who picked up the W. You feel for Eddie, man. A great effort. But ultimately tonight, it was the night of the Rainmaker. Night 1 belongs to Kazuchika Okada. But that's not all we've got from SummerSlam, folks, because next week you will see Night 2 of SummerSlam, headlined by Batista and Omega, who's walking out with the title. Find out next week.